What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp. Today we're going to take a look at one of Corsair's newest products, the Corsair Lapdog. This thing's pretty big, gotta fit it in the shot. The purpose of this product is pretty obvious. It is meant to be the all-in-one solution for using a mouse and keyboard in a living room environment, for use with your home theater PC, or maybe you have a PC hooked up to a massive TV in your bedroom, and at night you kind of just want to lounge back on your bed and play some games, then this is for you. The Lapdog gets its name due to the product's design. It sits on your lap and lets you use a mouse and keyboard in a much more natural fashion. Taking a look at the product itself, we have this empty keyboard chassis where your specific keyboard will fit. It is designed to be used with the Corsair K70 or K65 models, so if you have one of them already, then you'll be good to go. Next to that is a large 11x11 mouse pad area to the left. It doesn't really feel similar to a cloth mouse pad. It's kind of like a plastic mouse pad with a little bit more texture, kind of resembles grip tape. But I found that the mouse glides and tracks over it with no problems at all. Underneath the top unit is where your Lapdog attaches to the cushion via magnets, and there's a little place to store the included Allen key. This is what you'll use to kind of open it all up and get going. Taking apart the screws will let you lift up the top hinge. This is where your keyboard cables will go. You can just leave it in there to avoid clutter on your floor and stuff like that. And then underneath the mouse pad area is where you'll find two USB ports for plugging in your mouse and keyboard, and that's going to kind of route back up to the top. I like how they designed this so you can have your cables nice and tucked away and being organized, all while being out of sight. Speaking of those USBs, there are 3 additional USB slots on the back and right side of the Lapdog. And this is going to let you plug in things like a headset or like a wireless receiver for something, maybe a flash drive, etc. Although one of those ports is for hosting the very long cable that you'll have to plug into your PC. The cable's pretty long, it's like around 20 feet or so you shouldn't have any problems connecting it to your PC. Length shouldn't be a limitation here. Then you have the little 12-volt DC power connector to power the Lapdog. Altogether, I think it looks pretty nice when you have it all decked out. The brushed aluminum of the product helps it sit flush with their keyboard, and it gives it a nice kind of modern look in the living room. Now, typically, I'm pretty used to sitting down at my desk, with my monitor there right in front of me to game, so switching it up at first and using this was a challenge. And in order to, really test this out for the review, I made myself play on my TV for a week, forcing myself to adapt and learn to adjust to this new playstyle. And it really wasn't too bad at all. I was actually kind of surprised. They say it's designed with comfort and performance in mind, and I can 100% back that up and admit they nailed it here. With the grooves and the padding on the bottom of the cushion, it fits perfectly on my lap and it sits there comfortably. Since the padding is very soft and cushiony and there is tons of it, there really doesn't even feel like there's something on my lap at all to begin with. Weight is not a problem here, and I'm very impressed with that given the Lapdog's overall kind of big and rugged design, and it just felt very natural when it was on my lap when I was gaming. Using a controller as a solution in the past might be sufficient enough for some people, but let's face it, using a controller in most online games will put you at a great disadvantage compared to a mouse and keyboard. Now, if you're playing, something like, I don't know, Rocket League or something where a controller will be fine, then yeah, this isn't really going to be necessarily for you. But this will be appealing to someone who wants that option to play any game they want, when they want, and now where they want. With my time using this, I can say it's been almost all positive, and it really impressed me. I didn't think switching it up would feel just kind of so natural, but they just really nailed the ergonomic design of the Lapdog to make it feel like you're still sitting at your desk by having this right in your lap, even though you're in the living room. It's just designed really well with great materials, so you know your money is going to good use with this. Now, if I want to kind of bring up some cons, I can think of 2 things that stuck out the most to me. First is the obvious, kind of keeping it all in-house decision to be only compatible with Corsair K70 and K65 keyboards. From a business standpoint and a design standpoint, this makes total sense that you'd obviously want consumers to use the keyboard that fits best with the Lapdog and what it was designed for, but that's surely turning away everyone else in the world who doesn't have a Corsair K70 or 65 keyboard. For me, it was an issue because I've been using Corsair keyboards for the past 2-3 years now, but that's just me. Now, yes, you can probably get away with using or fitting your keyboard in here if it's a certain kind of compact 60% keyboard, but in order for it to fit the best and be used the way it was intended to, you're limited to just the K70 and K65. What's good though is you can use any mouse you want with this, so feel free. Speaking of the mouse, my next con is going to be along those lines. I don't have a problem at all with the mouse pad texture, but I don't like how when I'm using the mouse, the cord is constantly rubbing against the edges of where the mouse's cable is being routed out of. Since the edges around the backside and the overall mouse pad is kind of harsh, when it's rubbing against the braided cable, it makes a pretty annoying sound. It's not damaging the cable or anything, but I think a rounded edge here would have avoided that, and I hope over time this won't start to kind of make the cable fray. But altogether, this thing is pretty awesome, and it definitely exceeded my expectations. I'll admit, when I first saw this last year in early 2015, I was kind of skeptical, but this is the real deal for anyone looking to buy something like this. It is definitely for someone who has a PC in the living room and wants to casually play some games on the big TV every now and then, but I wouldn't really recommend this for competitive play, mainly with like twitchy shooters like Call of Duty or CSGO. Not saying the Lapdog itself will give you a disadvantage, but the distance away from your TV, which you'll most likely be sitting at, will probably be the issue. I mean, I even played some Counter-Strike myself, and I did just fine, but I'm not that good at Counter-Strike, so I didn't notice a difference at all anyways. Games like that really require you to be in front of a monitor paying a lot of attention. But I mean, if you're playing something like, I don't know, Far Cry, Doom, even some GTA, you'll have no problem gaming with this just fine. And the fact you can just comfortably now play in a living room using a mouse and keyboard with this new all-in-one Lapdog solution is awesome. It's going to retail for, I believe, $120, so if you already have a mouse and keyboard that's compatible with this, that's all you'll be spending. And I think if you're someone who is in the living room always needing something like this, you can definitely justify the purchase. Alright guys, that'll do it for my review of the Corsair Lapdog. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp for channel updates and stuff like that. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss out any tech reviews I come up to the channel real soon. Well, I'm Random Frank P. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.